First of all, I think is the pulmonary vein trigger. Pulmonary vein, especially muscular sleeve, trigger initiate, focally initiate atrial fibrillation is very common. The mechanism of the paroxysmal atrial fibrillation who does not have sufficient substrate change. Why the pulmonary vein? And also hypertension or other lot of the risk factors may involved. But I think in the paroxysmal AF, without substrate, the most common mechanism is the pulmonary vein trigger. Secondarily, persistent AF, long-standing persistent AF also, I think is the substrate dependent. Substrate which is mostly caused by the fibrotic change. Recently, some paper mentioned not only the fibrosis, also amyloid deposit. So this scar and fibrosis and the amyloid substrate dependent atrial fibrillation. So in patient in the paroxysmal AF, pulmonary vein isolation is the essential part. So for the pulmonary vein isolation in our lab, initially after we put the multi-electrode, the ring type, the multi-electrode, and another one is the ablation bipolar, and then the isoproterenol increase up to 10 or 20 micron, and then induce AF from the baseline. In RA, the anode is the inside coronary sinus catheter. I think it's very small energy, 2 or 3 joule, on the up to 5 energy. The biphasic energy is enough to cardiovert. After cardiovert, we wait usually 1 or 2 minutes. I think more than 80% of the patient, we are able to see the trigger. So if I see the left side left pulmonary vein on the right side PV, for example, in case of the left side PV's trigger, we put the one lasso into LS PV, ablation cast into the LI PV, and then we confirm the exit flow as well. At least the site of pacing inside PV to see the exit flow. Because the reason why we isolate the arrhythmogenic PV first is after the completion of all PVI, I think already time passed at least 30 minutes, 1 hour. So after at least 1 hour, we have the original vein to see the pulmonary vein potentially just recur or not. So, and then after that, some case we need to touch up again. The end point of late. So after that, we test again to see the no trigger anymore. That's our end point. That's the paroxysmal area. So persistent AF is different. So pulmonary vein isolation first during the AF is the ongoing, and then I think it's less than the 20% of the patient only PVI terminate atrial fibrillation or convert atrial tachycardia, but most cases AF is sustained. So after PVI, we create the 3D mapping, 3D cava mapping. Cava, the setting I already mentioned. So cava guided LA ablation first, and then AF sustained, we move to the right atrial cava. But in our series, we experienced and about 75% of the patient after LA and RA cava ablation, AF terminate, atrial tachycardia or sinus rhythm. So if we have the atrial tachycardia, which can be mapped, the mapping, activation map, entrainment map, and then also we target at least mappable. Cycle length is the longer than 230 milliseconds. Puncture the separately. So in the lab, and the average mean number of atrial tachycardia is at least 2.7. So at least 3, more than 3 atrial tachycardia map. Map of atrial tachycardia is the end point of the percent AF population. So basically our transseptal puncture technique is the fluoroscopy only, without any other imaging. On the AP view in the insert guide wire in the left brachiocephalic vein, and then follow the sheath, and then exchange broken blow needle into the dilator and the sheath. After that, we inject the saline to prevent any other clot or other clogging. Then drag down on after that, the needle usually go anterior rotation because of anatomically. That's the lateral wall of the aorta. And then this, after we drag down, this another posterior jump usually go into the upper rim, upper margin of the fossa ovalis. So this, after that, usually this needle directed just underneath of the muscular rim of the you see enter the LA. This the plane should be vertical, like this. And then usually from here, if I and then go to the LSPV first, okay, like this. This is LS, and then after that, and then also from the LIPV, you can do the directly little bit clockwise more. Clockwise more is the right side. I did the clockwise, not the counterclockwise. From the, once again, if the afocus insert into the LIPV or the LSPV, you can, without fluoroscopy, you can rotate this afocus to the clockwise, and then this is the right side PV, and then release. We go into the RIPV. Once you insert RIPV, you better change the fluoroscopy into the aerial view is like this. The cardiac margin is insert. So you can insert a little bit more and then push for the RIPV. I think in the inside LA, you have to rotate and use the long sheath. Without long sheath into the LA, very difficult to manipulate. So I prefer to use the SL1 without the agilis or other deflectable sheath. Okay, this is the fixed. Directly contact from here to here is not easy. Very slippery and very difficult to position and this linear ablation. So I prefer here, insert a little bit more. Insert a little bit more, then curve down. Curve down. Here is the mitral annulus. Almost touch the mitral annulus. Like this. Okay, more. So once again, direct approach to the loop line is very unstable. So I suggest this direction, insert more. How about the mitral annulus? Mitral annulus is the posterior wall is the mitral annulus. This is roof. Mitral annulus counterclockwise, and then insert needle the ablation here, like this. This is linear ablation. But very difficult to do the RSPV anterior by this direction. I go to the clockwise. Will be met at the center. That's the easy way to create the anterior line. This is the usual position of the catheter on the fluoroscopy, the REO 30. Okay. This, the one, the halo duodeca, the one decapolar at the IRA, and the quadripolar with the RV. Sometimes we move to this quadripolar to the SVC to identify the non-PP foci like the SVC. Okay, so this is our common catheter position before the transseptal. Okay, we would like to start. Aerial. This is aerial. As you can see, the decapolar, the duodeca halo into the CS and cover the RA free wall. Okay, and in the middle is the quadripolar into the RV apex. Okay, so we use for the transseptal. This is the SL1 sheath. Many different ways to transseptal. One guide wire and two to puncture, but we are performing most cases in the two separate transseptal. Okay. So initially, as you can see, let's see the cosmo. Okay, the guide wire into the left brachiocephalic vein. Okay, like this. Brachiocephalic vein is like this. Okay, and follow the
the long sheath and the dilator. So this is BRK, the conventional BRK one. So if you see that after we insert the needle into the dilator, I injected the normal cell line to prevent some clogging, the block, the inside and the dilator. Okay. I don't use the contrast routinely. We don't use the eyes or other imaging modality, only the fluoroscopic guided. So we started from the areole, the 30, 36, 35, and then drag down like this. Okay. So we will see the one and then second jump here. Okay, like this. Okay. Areole, areole. So areole, the needle should be the vertical. Okay. So we have to avoid the anterior rotation. This needle should be the vertical line on the areole 40 or 45 like this. Okay. And then areole. Okay, and then you can hide the normal fluoroscopy. Okay. Okay, like this. And then needle. The needle is okay. I already make sure the blood regurgitation. This is the simple way to do the Transseptal here. Okay. If you see the sheath after we take out the dilator with the needle, this is the anterior bouncing and then superior like that. Okay, that's very important. And give the heparin. So heparin, we already gave the heparin before Transseptal. Okay, and then another second puncture as the same as the first. So I don't use the fluoroscopy when I insert the needle until the needle the turn to the 4 o'clock. Okay, and then make sure that before that, as I mentioned, the inject and contrast. I don't know the normal cell line. Okay, and then drag down. So second puncture is a little bit lower and posterior than the first. Okay, the jump is not obvious. Okay. I already insert like this. Okay. So you will see the sheath is initially downward and over to the swing. Okay, after we remove the needle and dilate. Okay, here like this. I insert and then okay like this. That's very important. So injected through the pigtail, the 6 branch and the 20 Cs per second and the 4-second rotation angiogram. Okay. 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 Good. Geometry, I think it's done. Also, I like to make sure the location of the reach. Array of these here. Yeah. Perimeter, posterior perimeter isthmus area in under LIPV. Okay. So we start with geometry from the RSPV now. Okay. So you can start with any PV, but I usually start the LSPV or RSPV like this. Okay. And then I like all the area appendage now. Okay. You can see the electrogram as well. In and out. You can touch the roof in between the both superior pulmonary vein. Then clockwise. Here is the clockwise. Is directed to the posterior wall like this. Okay, I touch the posterior wall now. From here, when I go the anterior in the counterclockwise, like this, counterclockwise is anterior. So from the LA, the clockwise rotation directed to the posterior wall, counterclockwise is anterior. You can touch here near the septum, the anterior round. Okay. Then near the mitral annulus, you can clearly see the pre-electrogram. And the RSPV anterior. Here. Yeah. Okay. And, also, I like to make sure the location of the ridge, which is between the LSPV and LA appendage here, and LA appendage and LSPV. There's in between. There's a ridge, lateral ridge. Can I see? Lateral, yes, lateral ridge area. Perimeter, posterior perimeter isthmus area in under the LIPV here. Okay. 챙긴다며. Initially, yes. Before CTI, I suggest you to put the his catheter first. Okay, we have the his there. Okay, then and then across the coronary sinus ostium. Okay, like this, and then from the the annular side, you can appreciate in the little bit small a, the little big the V here. You see here? Okay. I don't see any. Right. A little bit pull it back until we have the small a. Here. Right. Here. Okay. From the aerial view. So this is a good start point for the CTI ablation. This is the septum side and here. And on pace 7, 8 or okay. 그리고 이제 PBI check. So after that, after CTI block, we need to check the PBI and also make sure the non-inducibility of any slow atrial tachycardia. That's the end point. Okay. As you can see, the yellow dot is we define as the lake gathering enhancement. The field area is covered by the LG positive. Can you rotate? Yes, there's some area of the posterior wall and this mitral annulus. So after we cut their board, we create the voltage mapping using the A-focus tool to correlate this cardiac MRI. So while we are merging the MRI with the geometry of the navics, we tested the routine EP study here to see the retrograde VA conduction, the anterograde, the DRAV node, or other the electrophysiology, the study, I think it's very important in every case. And also in patient with the LV dysfunction, the ejection fraction is less than 40%. We test also the PT induction test. Voltage map, so we completed the basic routine EP study. Non-inducible, no VA conduction, okay, no DRAV node property. So let's see This is a focus to the voltage mapping near the LSTV antral area. Okay. Next. Next. RSPV. So while we creating the voltage mapping, we also the able to see the geometry in the modes, the validation by this, the move around and by the focus tool here. Okay, and a lot of the double potential. It's very close to the septal bundle area. Okay, near the mitral annulus, anterior. Okay, more near the septum area. Okay.
물질을 0.5로 세팅이 바꿔줘요.
자, 어때? So after TBI, we are now acquiring the CAPE, mapping our CAPE setting is 6 seconds. Okay, and the refractor period 50 milliseconds. Okay, RSPV, require. Okay. And also we can correlate in the LG, the area on the MRI with the CAPE area. Usually the CAPE is located at the heterogeneous of the scar and the fibrosis with the mixed with the normal voltage. And also we need to review the voltage mapping to the higher patient. The voltage map, can you show? But here we have the voltage criteria less than 0.5 millivolts. There's the red and the blue area. So as you can see, the low voltage area is not exactly the same as in the cava areas here. Can you show the cava? Okay, like this. So end point of the cava, the guided ablation is eliminate all the cava. The voltage reduction at least more than 80%, eliminate all the cava potential. That's our end point here. As you can see, it's a very low voltage. The fractionation is the yellow electrogram. Okay, here. Okay, try. Ready? Go. Now is the ablation is the neck of the area appendage. Usually the Bachmann bundle, the directive, there is a preferential conduction, the Bachmann bundle to the area appendage. Ready? Just a little bit near the sinus node. Okay. The posterior, I think, area. Ready? Go. After this, we'll the prolong. So after that, I like to make the activation map. Yes. Okay. Hello. Sequence change, right? I already mentioned. We need to do the activation map of this tachycardia. Okay. Okay. Stop. And train the 910 first. Septum. Entrainment. Activation very close, right? Right. So this is more likely septal, the tachycardia, but I like to activation map. Right side first. Okay? So like this, after we the LA cava guided ablation and move to the RA cava guided ablation, finally the very fractionated atrial fibrillation organized the atrial tachycardia. So we found that this tachycardia, I think critical circuit is very close to the RA rather than LA. In our series, I think more than the 60% of the atrial tachycardia developed AF, the biatrial ablation initially located in the RA. So RA mapping first, okay? And sometimes in the tachycardia, okay? Very quick mapping though. Okay, one more. SPCRA junction. There is the delay in the double potential at 3-4. Here. Where is the double potential 5-6? Mark there.
double potential, I think near the sinus venosa and lower, near the IVC. Earliest activation is 9, 10, 17, 18. Right, around there. Okay, let me do the entrainment. 16, 17. Yes, very close. Okay? So you can show activation map, the propagation map. You right. Take your weight. Right. Beautiful. Okay? Yeah. So we like to target the initial slow conduction area. Okay, here. Yes, okay. Ready? Go. I already confirmed. Prolong. So I think we target a little bit prolonged because of we touched the one part of this re-entry. Sequence change. So, okay, we found the activity sequence change after the right side septal ablation. Okay. Cycle length is quite variable. Alternance to 60-300 to 60-300. Cycle length alternance. Okay. Almost. Okay, stop. And then little bit change. Again. Right? Ready? Go. I hope terminate and then CTI block, that's all. This area is very easily terminated by the mechanical touch. Stop. A little bit earlier, right? Ready? Go. Yes. Septal area, yes, right. Right side in the figure of re-entry is the right side of septum, right? And then finally the right side upper, the vacuum bundle, origin tachycardia. Almost and then always the preferential conduction through the septum, right? Not the roof, because we already had a lot of lesion into the LA. So actually second little change. Okay, good. No potential. Okay, stop.